Did you begin to walk the wise Stoic path? Do you want to improve your lifestyle but don't know how to get started? Do you want to bring out your full potential? Or perhaps, do you want to start this year on the right foot? You entered the indicated channel, but first subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Stoicism was born in the 3rd century BC at the hands of the master philosopher Zeno of Citium, a Cypriot merchant who settled in Athens. The name of the school comes from the place where Zeno used to impart his teachings, a covered gallery called Stoa Poikile, which means painted portico. The Stoics believed that nature is a rational order and that human beings should live in harmony with it. To do this, it is necessary to control emotions and desires and focus on what is under our control. In this way, Stoicism is a philosophy of life that teaches us to accept what we cannot control and act with virtue and wisdom on what we can. The advice of the Stoic ancestors offers us a series of principles and practices that can help us accelerate our personal growth and improve our quality of life. But before starting, remember, being Stoic does not mean being indifferent or resigned, but looking for authenticity and resilience in our way of being and acting. Stoicism is a refuge for the soul, a compass to orient us in the sea of existence. At number 1, practice self-observation. It will all start with this advice. It's important to start from here, as it will give you a clearer focus of what you currently are. Without this step, we will be adrift, without knowing our starting point. And the first strategy to accelerate your personal growth is self-observation, which is a practice that consists of paying attention to your own thoughts, emotions, sensations, and actions, without judging or reacting to them. It is a way to develop self-knowledge and self-awareness, as well as to improve psychological and physical well-being. As Epictetus said, it is not enough to want to be good, you have to know how to be one. To learn to perform good self-observation, it is important to perceive each thought, emotion, and actions with a lot of objectivity and without judging yourself. This is very important. Then, identify your strengths and weaknesses, your habits and beliefs, your values and goals. This way, you will be able to know yourself better and make decisions that are more consistent with your true self. To practice self-observation, you can also use different techniques such as meditation, personal journaling, feedback, or therapy. The important thing is to choose a technique that suits your preferences and comforts. Of course, you should keep in mind that self-observation is a habit that can be incorporated into everyday life, and that it requires patience, perseverance, and open-mindedness. From a psychological approach, self-observation helps reduce stress, anxiety, and depression, as it allows you to regulate negative emotions and increase positive ones. It also promotes learning, memory, creativity, and problem-solving by facilitating information processing and critical thinking. Let's embrace self-observation and use it as a way to achieve wisdom and happiness by allowing us to know ourselves and the reality that surrounds us better. Number 2, practice gratitude. After you have perceived what surrounds you, such as your health, your material goods, the characteristics that make you who you are, comes gratitude. Gratitude is the recognition and appreciation for everything you have and for everything that happens to you, both the good and the bad. Gratitude allows you to value what you already have, enjoy the present, and learn from difficulties. Practicing gratitude involves being aware of our emotions, thoughts, and actions, and expressing our gratitude to people who help, support, or inspire us. In addition, gratitude generates positive emotions and improves your relationships with others. Remember what the main focus of a Stoic being is, and that is to value what we have and not take it for granted. As Marcus Aurelius said, when you wake up in the morning, think of the privilege of being alive, of breathing, of thinking, of enjoying, of loving. From a psychological point of view, gratitude improves our well-being, our self-esteem, our satisfaction with life, and our resilience. It also reduces stress, anxiety, depression, and envy. From a philosophical point of view, gratitude connects us with others, with nature, and with the meaning of life. It helps us to be more humble, more generous, more compassionate, and wiser. To practice gratitude, we can perform different exercises such as keeping a gratitude journal, writing thank you letters, meditating on what we are grateful for, or sharing our feelings with others. Number 3, control what you can control. By being more positive, we will learn to control what we cannot control. Stoicism invites us to distinguish between what depends on us and what does not. As Epictetus said, "If I am going to die, I will die when the time comes. Since it seems to me that it is not yet time, I will eat because I am hungry." Massimo Pigliucci, Italian philosopher and practitioner of Stoicism, explains this curious phrase, saying, "Epictetus here meant to tell us that what has to be, will be. But if I don't have to deal with it now, I'm going to do something else." Focusing on what we can't control will simply be a stress-generating engine that will make our days difficult to bear. One way to practice controlling what we can control is to apply the Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control. This principle consists of distinguishing between what depends on us and what does not, and focusing only on the former. For example, we can control our attitudes, opinions, emotions, and actions, but we cannot control external events, the opinions of others, the weather, or chance. By focusing on what we can control, we avoid suffering for what we can't change and free ourselves from anxiety, frustration, and anger. In addition, by taking responsibility for our decisions and behaviors, we develop greater self-esteem, confidence, and resilience. Being faced with a problem and having the mental maturity to focus on what we can control allows us to live according to our rational and moral nature, by following the principles of wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. Thus, we approach happiness and virtue, which are the ultimate ends of Stoic philosophy. Number 4, live in the present. A common problem that prevents us from focusing on what we can or cannot control is not knowing how to live in the present. The Stoics advise us to live in the present moment with attention and awareness. The past no longer exists and the future is uncertain. The only thing we have is the here and now. By living in the present, we avoid regretting the past and worrying about the future. In addition, we take better advantage of the opportunities that come our way and enjoy life more. As Seneca said, "It is not that we have little time, but that we lose a lot. Life is long enough if we know how to take advantage of it." Living in the present helps us reduce stress, anxiety, and depression, improves our self-esteem, our confidence, and our ability to make decisions as we take responsibility for our lives and act coherently. In addition, it favors our mental and physical health, since by being more relaxed and happy, we release endorphins and strengthen our immune system. Living in the present unites us to our Stoic side, as it allows us to appreciate the beauty of the simple, of the everyday, of what we have. It makes us more aware of our relationship with ourselves, with others, and with the environment. It invites us to be more grateful, more compassionate, and more generous. In short, it makes us more human. There are different methods to practice this strategy, but I recommend meditation or mindfulness. These techniques help us train our attention and observe our thoughts and emotions without identifying with them. Impulses are automatic and irrational reactions that lead us to act impulsively without thinking about the consequences. Acting impulsively will only lead you to make decisions that you will soon regret, since it is not your true self that is speaking, but anger, fear, desire, or even envy. To control them, you must be aware of them, take a deep breath, reflect on the possible consequences, and choose the most appropriate response. Practicing impulse control helps us improve our self-esteem, mental health, and interpersonal relationships. In addition, it allows us to achieve our long-term goals without falling into impulsive behaviors that harm us or take us away from our goals. What can we do about it? Mainly identify the triggers that cause impulsivity and avoid them or deal with them in a positive way. You just have to learn to recognize and express your emotions appropriately without repressing or exaggerating them. The next thing is to develop problem-solving and decision-making skills, analyzing the consequences of our actions before acting. A plus is to practice relaxation and mindfulness techniques, which help us reduce stress and focus on the present. Number 6, it seeks the common good. For tip number 6, it's something that will make you happier and more complete, and it'll be the way everyone will look at you. And it is, seek the common good. The common good is the benefit of all human beings, both present and future. The common good involves acting with justice, generosity, compassion, and respect for others, seeking their happiness and well-being as much as your own. The best way to be happy is to make others happy. Seneca. Find a cause you're passionate about and join it. Helping others is a great way to improve social coexistence and cohesion between groups. It promotes a sense of belonging and collective identity. Also, and I think the best thing about this advice, is that it helps to generate confidence, security, and happiness in your person. Of course, it is important to keep in mind that this advice helps you to critically evaluate the consequences of individual and collective decisions. You need to learn to strike a balance between personal interests and general interests. Number 7, exercise your will by putting the Stoic exercises into practice. Will is the ability to choose and act according to our purposes, values, and goals. Practicing exercising the will involves developing habits that help us overcome difficulties, resist temptations, and persevere in our goals. Exercising the will involves reflecting on the meaning of our life, our values and principles, and our responsibilities to ourselves and to others. What can you do to exercise your will? The Stoics suggest that we practice a series of mental exercises to strengthen our mind and character. These exercises are: 1. Negative visualization consists of imagining adverse scenarios or possible losses to prepare us to face them or to value what we have. 2. Self-control consists of repressing or moderating our impulses, emotions, and desires in order to act rationally and prudently. 3. Meditation consists of concentrating on our breathing, our body, or an object to calm our mind and relax our body. 4. Asceticism consists of voluntarily depriving ourselves of some pleasures and comforts to train our will and our endurance. 5. Contemplation consists of observing nature, the universe, or humanity to admire its beauty, its order, and its harmony. Doing these 5 exercises will help improve our self-esteem and confidence. That is, it will allow us to have greater control over our emotions and behaviors. It makes us more resilient and able to face challenges and changes. It also helps us answer different questions we have, such as, what do I want to do with my life? What am I passionate about? What makes me happy? The will is strengthened with practice, so set yourself challenges that help you get out of your comfort zone and develop your potential. These strategies are based on the principles of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that focuses on controlling emotions and accepting external circumstances. These strategies can help you improve your psychological and physical well-being, as well as achieve your personal goals. For more tips like this, you know what to do. A true Stoic would follow this channel and activate the notification bell because they want to keep hearing advice like this. Okay, that's all for today. This is not a goodbye. It is a see you later.